Good morning and welcome to Super Vibes Back to Basics series. And for the month of February, we are continuing to explore movement. So last week we worked with the foundational points of alignment in the body and the importance of establishing integrity in the alignment, especially in the spine, before we move. And today we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the spine and talk about and play with all the different ways that the spine can move. So for today's practice, we are doing a seated variation of a gentle stress management class. All you need is a place to sit and your body and your breath. So if you'd like to sit on the floor or in a chair, either of those options are welcome. Remember, if you're seated on the floor, it can be helpful to sit on a blanket or a pillow or something just to give yourself a little bit of height under the hips. So let's just briefly talk about the anatomy of the spine. So in the spine, we have the vertebral column, which is where the vertebrae of the spine stack, one on top of the other. And in the middle of that structure is our spinal cord. So it's very important for us to always maintain some spaciousness in the spine so that the nerves in the spine are not compromised as we're moving. So before we move, we want to align and create length. Once we've created length in the spine, there's lots of different ways for the spine to move. The spine can move laterally, so these vertebrae in the spinal column can move this way. They can also move in extension, which means that the back body will shorten and the front body will open. So these are the vertebrae. So here, the front body opens as the back body extends and creates that muscular action. We can also do a forward bend, or what we would call contraction of the spine. So the vertebrae would move this way toward one another. And then we can also twist. So we're going to play a little bit with all of those movements. Let's go ahead and establish a comfortable seat. If you're seated on the floor, feel your roots through your sit bones and the outer legs and the outer edges of the feet. If you are working from a chair today, feel the roots through the soles of the feet, the four corners of the feet, the legs, and the sit bones. Remember, the knees are usually soft as we're in our alignment, and since we're seated today, they'll be bent. We want to establish that alignment right to left and front and back in the sit bones, so we're balanced at center. From here, we start to lift the rib cage off of the pelvis and lengthen through the spine, finding that invisible string from the crown of the head, gently lifting us towards source. Let the shoulders relax onto the back and let the arms relax next to the body. Let yourself take a moment to tone the belly ever so slightly, unless you're one of my mamas to be. We want to use that subtle power in the belly to hold this posture erect. Now let's take a moment to close the eyes, and we'll just begin to move the breath through the Sushumna Nadi, that central channel along the spine. Taking a big breath in, feeling the expansion all around the body. Maybe a gentle sigh out through the mouth, feeling yourself let go a little bit. Let's do a couple more of these. So the inhale is that expansion, and the exhale is the release. Feel that as you move your awareness inward, the residue of the outside world begins to fall away. And we're simply bringing our focus to our own bodies, our own breath. Let yourself take just a few more centering breaths here, feeling the alignment in the body. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and open the eyes. So we're going to begin the exploration of the spine by moving around the neck. So as you inhale, imagine the spine is just going to get a little longer as you reach through the crown of the head to lengthen through the neck. The first position we'll take is to come into what we call flexion of the spine in the neck. So you're just going to drop the chin toward the chest, and you can feel here how the back of the neck is opening and the front of the throat is softening inward. So this is one of the ways that we can articulate the spine in the neck. And here we're receiving a gentle stretch in the back of the neck. Then on your next inhale, we'll come back to center. And this time on your exhale, we'll go into lateral movement. So just letting that right ear drop toward the right shoulder. So you can see as we sort of close the right side, we open the left. And we're receiving a gentle stretch in the left side. So we want to make sure as we drop the head to the right that we're not forcing this range of motion at all. It's just a gentle dropping over of the ear. And the shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Now on your next inhale, come back to center. Find that long spine. And as you exhale, let your left ear drip toward your left shoulder. Feel the right shoulder relax a little bit more. As we flex to the left side, we open the right side. Let yourself have a couple of moments here just to feel that opening. And we'll make our way back to center. And as we exhale, just a gentle release of any tension that we may be holding in the jaw and the shoulders. Now let's play for a moment with extension in the neck. So we drop the head forward before. This time we're going to bring the head back ever so slightly. So we'll start with extending through the neck, getting long on the inhale. And then as you exhale, just kind of draw the chin back toward the throat and then drop the head back a little bit so the gaze moves up. Now let this be very, very gentle. For most people, this can be a little bit edgy. So let it just be a very gentle taking of the gaze up. The head drops back ever so slightly, and we continue to draw the throat back. On your inhale, we'll come back to center and just relax again here for a moment. So we've done our lateral movement from side to side. We've done our forward movement and our backward movement in the neck. Now let's start to play a little bit with some twisting. So as you inhale, once again, creating that space in the neck. And as you exhale, just turning the head to the right. So the chin is going to stay parallel to the floor this time. And we're simply going to rotate the head on the shoulders to whatever degree of range of motion feels comfortable and appropriate for you. And once you've found that gentle stretch, let the shoulders relax, relax the jaw, and just feel the action of the rotation. Let the breath move, using the exhale to release tension. And on our inhale, we'll come on back to center and just relax for a moment. So now we're going to do that same twist to the other direction. Inhaling to create length as always. Before we move, exhaling, gently turning the head to the left. So as you turn your head to the left, make sure that those shoulders are continuing to relax. See if you can soften the jaw. And just gradually let your range of motion come in until you find that gentle stretch. Letting yourself drop into breath when you arrive in that just right space. using the exhalations to release the tension. And then on an inhale, we'll make our way back to center. Take another moment here just to breathe and rest. So we now are going to start to combine some of these positions. So not only can we lengthen the spine and do lateral flexion and anterior flexion and extension in the spine, we can also combine those movements. So we can lengthen, twist, and then flex to one side, and we can lengthen, twist, flex to the other side. So we can start to get a little bit more fluid and funky about these movements in the neck. So let's play with this one. We're going to inhale to find length in the neck. And just turn your head to the right about halfway. So instead of going your full range of motion, go about halfway. So we're coming into about half of a twist. And then we're going to come into that flexion. So we're going to drop the chin toward the right collarbone. So you can feel here how this combination of movements in the spine changes the stretch that you're receiving in the neck. Let yourself take a few breaths here and continue to use your exhales to let go of the tension. On your next inhale, come on back and take a moment to rest. So we'll do that same thing on the other side. So inhaling to lengthen up through the crown of the head, creating length in the neck. Exhaling, turning halfway to the left, and then gently dropping the chin toward the collarbone. Once again, just noticing how this feels a little different. We're letting those shoulders relax. We're breathing into it. We're using those exhalations to let go. And when you're ready, on an inhale, we'll lift the chin and bring it back to neutral. So just another little example of how we can combine some of those movements. Now let's play just a little bit with some fluid circular movement in the neck. So we're going to start with very gently lengthening up through the crown of the head, drawing the chin back, taking the head slightly back. And we'll rock the left ear toward the left shoulder. And we'll drop the chin toward the collarbone. And we'll drop the chin toward the chest. Take the chin toward the right collarbone. Take the ear to the right. Take the head slightly back to the right. Come back to center. And just do a few of these very slowly, moving that head around on the shoulders, finding some circles. And just be mindful as you drop that head back, make sure the chin draws back. And we'll take just one more. Just make your way back to center, sitting up nice and tall. Take a moment to relax and wiggle the shoulders and the jaw. Now let's go the other direction. So once again, we're going to start by lengthening up to create that space, and then drawing the chin back, and then taking the head slightly back. From here, we'll take the right ear toward the right shoulder. And from here, we'll take the chin toward the right collarbone. Then let the chin come around to the chest, to the left collarbone. Let the left ear move toward the left shoulder. Draw the throat back, let the head drop back, and do just a couple more of these. So always remembering as we move the head around on these shoulders that we want the range of motion to be comfortable. We don't want to be grinding those joints. We want ease. We want this to be a release of tension. When you're ready, make your way back to center. Lengthen up through the crown of the head and relax the shoulders. Take a moment to relax the jaw. And just notice what you feel. Maybe there's a little heat some energy in the neck as we've opened up these spaces in the upper spine that maybe have been a little bit dormant or tense. So now let's go ahead and move to the spine in the shoulder area. So the shoulder girdles are attached to the upper thoracic spine, or not attached to, but they are involved in the movement of the upper thoracic spine. So let's play with this a little bit. I want you to just roll your shoulders back and lift your heart a little bit and feel how that creates an extension in the upper back. And then as you exhale, roll your shoulders forward and just let the upper back round a little bit. So this is our flexion. And then as we roll the shoulders back and lift the heart, that's our extension. So we can do like a cobra pose is a really, really great example of opening this upper thoracic spine. And then let's start to let that movement work its way all the way down the spine. So we're going to roll the shoulders forward, rounding the upper back, start to round the middle back a little bit. And then as you inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart a little bit more. Maybe feel the ribs move forward. And we can do a little bit more if we curl the tailbone under as we're rounding the shoulders. We're getting now into the lower back, that lumbar spine. And then as we roll the shoulders back and lift the heart, opening the rib cage, tilting the pelvis back, now we're in full spinal extension. So we can play with this to start to articulate the extension and the flexion of the spine in the trunk of the body. Now you'll notice I've been keeping the head fairly neutral so far, but we're going to start to involve the head in this as well. So this is our seated cat-cow pose. So even my pregnant mamas, you can still move through cat and cow seated because the weight of the belly isn't pulling down toward the floor like it would be if you were on your hands and knees. So this is actually okay for you to do the full range of motion through cow pose. Now start to let the head drop as you curl the tail under. And then as you inhale, tilt the pelvis back, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart, take the head slightly back. So now we're working extension and flexion from the lower spine all the way up to the base of the neck. Good. So now let's take a moment just to pause. I want you to come back to that alignment. So feel your feet on the ground, your strong legs. Feel your sit bones, level pelvis, nice long spine, a neutral reach right up through the crown of the head as we float the rib cage off of the pelvis. Now let's play a little bit with our lateral flexion and extension. So let's go ahead and take the right arm and just turn the palm up. You can bring your left hand anywhere on the chair or on the floor if you're seated on the ground. We're going to actually take that right arm and just wrap it around the head so that you're sort of holding your left ear. And then we're going to lean the body over to the left. So as I lean over, I'm actually opening the right side of the spine and softening the left side of the spine inward. So this is lateral flexion on the left side and extension on the right side. I want my right hip to be rooted and my head is just being held by my hand. It's just a little bit more easeful to do it this way. Another option, if the neck feels nice and strong, is to actually take that right arm and reach it to the left over the ear. Now when you're ready, on an inhale, you're going to come back to center, release the right arm down, Bring it onto whatever surface you're using for support. We'll take the left arm, turn the palm up, wrap it around the head to support the right side of the head. Lengthen up through the spine on your inhale, and as you exhale, start to lean over to the right. So here we're gently flexing the right side, extending and opening the left side. Take a couple of breaths here. Feel the left sit bone get heavy. Feel the right arm gently bracing against that support. And then if you want to reach through the left arm and hand, you can do that. Feeling the left side body open. Now on your next inhale, we'll come on back and release the arms. Now let's bring the hands to the thighs and just take a moment to notice what you feel, the sensations in the body after having opened the spine laterally. Now from here, we're going to begin to work with twisting in the trunk. So the first thing we're going to do is root through the feet and lengthen up through the spine. Remember, we always want to create space in between the vertebrae of the spine before we move. Now on an exhale, we're going to hug the right knee. So when we hug the knee, we're actually releasing tension in the lower back. So a nice hug to the knee is a nice way to sort of set the foundation for a twist. So let yourself just take a second here. Feel the sit bones root down, folding the leg into the body. And then on an exhale, we'll release that. We'll take another inhale to create space. And then as we exhale, we'll hug the left knee in, folding the leg into the body, feeling the sit bones root and that nice long spine through the crown of the head. And when you feel ready, just go ahead and release that down. So we have a couple of options here for our twist. We're going to start by bringing the feet wide and planting the feet. We'll take the right hand onto the right knee and let the left hand come behind you somewhere. So if you're in a chair, maybe it's on the arm of the chair, maybe it's on the seat. If you're on the floor, it's somewhere behind that left hip. We're going to inhale to create lengthened space. And then as we exhale, we're going to start by just trying to turn the belly a little bit. And then maybe the rib cage, and gradually let the chest turn, and then the shoulders, and then the head. So we always want to articulate the spine in our twists from the lowest part of the spine all the way up to the neck, because it can be very, very easy to just turn and twist in the spaces where movement is simple. And what we want to try to do is get the entire spine flexible. So we want to make sure that we're trying to articulate those parts of the spine that maybe don't move quite so easily. And when you're ready, on an inhale, you can come back to center. So we're going to twist in that same direction again. If you are a mama-to-be, you're going to do exactly what we just did again. You're going to keep your feet on the ground and keep an open twist by leaving the right hand on the right knee. If you want a little bit more and you don't have that contraindication, you can bring your hand to the left leg. So now we have a little bit more leverage and a little bit more room to twist. Again, from the lower belly all the way up to the crown of the head. So take a moment to explore the twist in that way. And then we'll come on back to center. And we're going to do one more in that direction. So this time, we're actually going to cross the left leg over the right leg. So contraindications for crossing the legs would be pregnancy, if you have hip replacements, or knee issues, or if it's just simply not comfortable for you to cross your legs. You can do one of the two previous variations. If you would like to cross the legs, we're going to cross the left leg over the right leg. We'll bring the right hand to the leg, and the left hand is your base of support. So inhaling to create that length, and then start from the low belly. Turn the belly first, then turn the rib cage, then the chest, the shoulders, and then very gently the head. Take a moment to feel the experience in the pose, to feel the breath. And then when you feel ready, we'll come on back to center and unwind the legs. So lots of ways to do even a seated twist in a chair or on the floor seated. We're going to go ahead and do the other side so that we're not crooked all day long. So let's bring the feet back to that wider shape. Your right hand is your base of support on your chair or on the floor, and your left hand comes to that left knee. We start by inhaling to find that length, and as we exhale, we turn from the low belly to the rib cage, to the chest, to the shoulders, and very gently turning the head. So notice those parts of your spine where you feel less mobile, and see if you can focus on those areas, and let the areas in the spine where you feel very easily mobile, let those be more subtle. So if you are one of my mamas to be, or if you simply want to stay in this position, you can stay here. If you'd like to take it up a notch, go ahead and take your left hand to your right leg. Inhale for a little bit more space. Exhale, see if you can find a little bit more rotation. Take a moment here, find the breath. And feel free to stay right where you are, or if you'd like to unwind and play with that cross-legged variation, we'll take the right leg over the left. Still, right hand is your base of support, left hand comes to the leg. We inhale for space, and we exhale into our twist from the low belly to the crown of the head. And let yourself breathe here, feeling the inhale, creating that expansiveness, and the exhale, inviting the rotation, the release of the tension. And whenever you feel ready, we'll work our way back around to center and unwind the legs. So now we have played with forward bending of the spine. We've played with opening the front of the spine. We've played with our twists. So now let's just kind of put all of this together. And we're going to work a little bit with, again, some circular movement, undulating the spine for more fluidity. So we'll bring the feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Let your hands rest comfortably on your legs. Just take a second here to start rocking side to side on your sit bones. And then start to find some circles. So rock to the right sit bone, lean forward a little bit. Rock to the left sit bone, lean back a little bit. So you're starting to kind of spin the trunk around the pelvis. And right now the spine is fairly straight. We're just starting to create this little rocking or spiral in the pelvis. And now we're going to start to let that get bigger. So as you rock to the right, sort of lean to the right, but let your left shoulder wiggle toward your left hip. Then lean forward a little bit, kind of rounding the spine. And then lean to the left, shortening the right side. And then lean back, rounding a lot here. Curl the tail, tuck the chin. Lean to the right, and then as you come forward, lift the heart, lift the chin, roll the shoulders back. As you come to the left, feel that right side body open. As you lean back, round, tuck the chin, curl the tailbone under, and just play with this big undulation of the spine. Let the shoulders and the head move. We're articulating the spine in a lot of different ways here. Inhaling as you come forward, opening that front line of the body. Exhaling as you come back, opening the back line of the body. Let's take one more big circle here, and then we'll find our way back to center, taking a moment here just to feel the feet on the ground, the sit bones rooted, that gentle rise in the body. Feel the breath. Now we're going to do that same play in the other direction. So start to rock the sit bones from side to side, again keeping the spine fairly straight to begin with. Now we're going to rock over to the left. Start to lean back as you round. Rock over to the right. Start to lean forward as you open. Just make sure that you're going the other direction and gradually let those circles get bigger. So as we rock forward, we're opening the heart, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chin, tilting the pelvis back. As we rock back, we're curling the tail under, rounding the back, tucking the chin. Whatever range of motion works for you, find it and enjoy the sensation of the movement. And as you feel ready, make your way back to center. Feel the feet on the ground. Feel the sit bones in the chair. Feel your nice long spine. Take a moment to close the eyes. As we've been working in the spine, we've been opening the physical aspects of the spine, sort of in all directions. And what we've also been doing is opening this energetic channel. The energetic channel, which we call the Sushumna Nadi, runs parallel to the spine, and it houses the 7 primary chakras. So for our meditation today, let's just do a little review of our chakras, and then we'll do a little breath practice. So we begin by bringing the awareness to the perineum, that space between the pubic bone and the tailbone. Feel the sit bones, the legs, and the feet. So this is our root chakra. The root chakra resides at the perineum. The feet and the legs are an extension of the root chakra. The color is red. And this energy center is about being grounded. It's about being connected to the earth. It's about having all of those survival needs met. Then we bring the awareness to the pelvis. The pelvis houses the energy center of the sacral chakra. The color is orange. This energy center is about connecting to your senses. It's about sensuality. It's about creativity and pleasure. From there, we move up to the space above the navel center. And this is our solar plexus chakra. The color is yellow. This energy center is about self-worth, value, self-esteem. It's about feeling strong and powerful and knowing your truth, being able to stand in your truth, authentic in who you are. From there, let the awareness move up to the center of the chest. This is our heart chakra. The color is green. And this energy center is about love, support, compassion, empathy, gratitude, both the ability to give and receive. Let your awareness move up to the spine, to the center of the throat. The energy center of the throat chakra is about communication. It's about being able to listen deeply and speak your truth. From there, we come to the center of the forehead, the third eye chakra. This is our center of intuition. This is purple. And then finally, right at the center, crown of the head, where we visualize that string pulling us up to lengthen us up towards source, we have our crown chakra. And this is the energy center about connecting us to something greater. So as we've been working through all of these movements of the spine, we've been opening up the physical and energetic channel. So let's begin to work with the breath and move it through this energy center. We'll take a big inhale through the nose, and then exhale it out through the mouth slowly. So as you inhale, I want you to visualize the breath is coming in through the nostrils and going up through the crown of the head. It's going to go through the crown of the head, down, passing the third eye space, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, down to the root. And it's going to, from the root, as you exhale, we're going to imagine that we're sending that exhale up that central channel out through the crown. So this is a Kundalini energy. So the inhale, visualizing one more time, up through the nostrils, down through the crown, passing through the line of these 7 chakras. It sort of pauses here at the perineum. Now imagine you're just going to squeeze a little kegel right there. And then as you exhale, visualize that energy moving up through the central channel, out through the crown. Okay? So let's do a few rounds of breath with that visualization. Inhaling through the nostrils. Imagine that breath moving down through the crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, to the root. Squeeze the perineum. As you exhale, imagine that breath moving up that central channel and out through the crown of the head. Take a moment to pause. And then when you're ready on your next inhale, once again, visualize the breath coming in through the nostrils, up and down through the crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root, squeezing that perineum as you exhale, sending the breath straight up through that channel and out through the crown of the head. Let yourself stay with that, inhaling down from the crown all the way to the root, exhaling from the root all the way up through the crown. Opening, clearing these energy channels so that all of those qualities that exist within our energetic bodies can come into balance. As you stay with that visualization, as you stay with that breath, imagine the root chakra coming into balance, the solar plexus and sacral chakras coming into balance, the heart and throat coming into balance, third eye and crown coming into balance, establishing balance as above and so below. Balance between the root and the rise. And feeling yourself as this open, clear conduit, this open, clear channel to move this energy. Let yourself have just another moment here to breathe. As you're breathing, feel that even as you sit tall, even as you sit with intention and integrity in the spine, as the breath moves, we can soften around that strength. We can soften the face, the jaw, the fingers, the toes, the buttocks, the shoulders. Feeling the balance of engagement and softness. On your next inhale, take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh the breath out on the exhale. Take a moment to bring the hands together at heart center. Gently brushing the breastbone with the thumbs. And very gently bowing the head. Thank you so much for joining me today for this practice. The light of me sees and honors that same light in each of you, and as we open and undulate the spine, we create the space for that light to move, to grow, to nourish, and to restore. Namaste.